When I played Pizza Tower, I thought it was pretty fun. Alright, after I beat it, I felt like, is this my new favorite game of all time? Pizza Tower is an indie game platform released in 2023 made by a couple of lads and chads that tore the pizza, based by the likes of Wario Land 4 and, oh, I can't hold it my love for this game. Let's just get into it. This script's like 4 pages long, but it's just endless gushing. The game is about as good as, say, I don't know, Shakespeare? Yeah, Shakespeare. It's a good Shakespeare. Alright, so Peppino Spaghetti wants a pizza shop, and then Pizza Face is threatening Peppino, so then Peppino runs headfirst into the pizza tower. If that wasn't the best story in existence, I don't know what is. The gameplay of Pizza Tower is simple. You run, grab, wall one, and at different speeds have different power levels. You can ground pound, you can throw stuff, and yeah, I forgot the game is pretty hard to learn. There's a writer's tutorial with the Spider-Man 2 pizza theme. Hear it. Why did he put in the Spider-Man 2 pizza theme? The gameplay loop is simple. Play a couple of levels, collect the toppings, get the money, buy the boss game, then beat the boss, rinse and repeat. The gameplay itself is hard to explain, but I'm going to try. The whole game revolves around this combo meter under the TV that showcases what Peppino was feeling at that moment. I don't know why it's there, but I like it. You gotta try to keep that combo up for as long as possible, and you do that with Peppino's deep dish moveset. In order to get the different ranks, make it go from D, C, B, A, S, then P. S stands for perfect in this game, so I have no choice but to think that it stands for pizza rank or something. But man, when put in synergy, does it get extremely fun, especially with the different transformations Peppino can wield. Like one and golf. The ones that stand out to me most is Morta Chicken, from the PS1 game, Morta Chicken, yes, I legit don't know why they did it, but for one level they got Morta Chicken in this game, and he actually plays really well. And the other thing that stands out to me is Gun. Not the other Gun, but the pistol head in boss fights. It's the most realistic looking thing in the game. I want to talk about the levels more closely because, man, the level themes alone are beyond interesting. The Saloon, Spawn, Face, Five Nights at Freddy's, they're all beyond fun. There's not a single bad level in the game, and especially with this amazing friggin' level design, like, my god dang, this is Toy the Pizza's first game for what I know of, so it's like, how do they get it so right, so fast? But Pizza Tower's first level is just less memorable than the amazing stuff. Personal favorites have to be either War or Fast Food Saloon. War because it's a fast-paced nature gun, and the fact that this thing is genuinely adrenaline-filling. Fast Food Saloon is one of my favorites because of the banger music and the level design is just so good. But then, you reach the room with the big pillar, and then you decide to hit it. You run back to the very beginning of the level, as the time limit starts. The screen starts suddenly shaking, and the most hype/slash crazy music ever conceived plays. You may think that effectively playing the level twice would be padding, but nah. There are these blocks that activate when you hit the pillar, and they change the level completely when you run back. It feels like an entirely new level with the crazy nature of it all. And it's easily some of my favorite parts of the game, especially helped by the manic, unhinged nature of the game's visuals. Yeah, also, I've really been holding it off. But man, this game looks gorgeous! Gone with realistic PS5 graphics, and in with the 90s style cartoon graphics. Goes for a Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life animation style. Man, it looks amazing. Not Cuphead, whose art style takes a long while to beat, and I do mean long while, might not be for another, like, 28 years. This game is easily a good second place when it comes to the good-looking games department. I mean, looking at Peppino run in slow motion makes me want to learn, looking at Peppino run in slow motion really makes me wish Italians were real. Though where the animation looks best is easily via the character animation, which is where the boss fights come in. Cuphead is my favorite game of all time because of the bosses, so color me surprised when these boss fights get insanely good. Peppermint is not a good impression of the boss fights. To be honest, I know I just said that all the boss fights were good, but it's bear with me. He's in no way bad, but it just feels insanely basic as a boss fight in any game. Like, he could be a boss in literally any other game and there'd be no adjustments to be made. He's not bad, but I am honest when I thought the bosses were going to be the worst part of the game until I fought the Vigilante. He's better than Peppermint. For one, the boss music is really atmospheric. Or something, I don't know how to describe it. For one, you get Gun, and this is basically a Diet Cuphead boss. But a Diet Cuphead boss is still a Cuphead boss. I'm talking about Dr. Call. You shoot Gun, which also has a charge shot, which is neat. And as you play through it, man, is it fun. Mr. Cheese over here has a dash attack, and Missile Dead Grandma, a cow that's really annoying, but you can get away. You can, do away with it pretty easily. It all comes to making a fine specimen of a boss fight. And how people genuinely think this boss is worse than Peppermint, I will never know. Because Peppermint is the most basic boss fight anyone can make, and the Vigilante is good. Alright, here we go. The Noise! The Noid is a parody of Domino's old mascot, the Noid, and it's shown. It's more similar to Peppermint than Vigilante in the boss fight spectrum. Unlike Peppermint, this fight is actually good! I mean, for one. Yeah. I love this little guy. This fight is surprisingly stressful and peer-breaking since there's a bunch of stuff on screen that's really fun to dodge. There's a friggin' noisy. Noise himself is flailing all around. There's bombs that can appear. There's friggin' bombs. Fake Peppino is interesting to say the least. I do not know this dude's lore, so it's up to MatPat to figure that out, but fight itself is amazing. The attacks are creative, it's freaky, and the background gets freaking wild with everything just turning all crazy, like Peppino 2 over here, just getting all crazy. All the words getting jumbled up. Bags getting fake Peppinos in them. This is finally the final boss against Pizza. This first phase kinda sucks, not gonna lie. You gotta throw enemies at him, and these enemies are stage enemies who are not designed for this fight. And so it's so frustrating to throw them up, so Peppino throws it to the side for some reason. Okay. So at first it's not that bad since they're easier enemies, but the more you go on, the more the enemies become active and the more they start to suck because you have to run into them and you can't really do that when you're in a closed arena. You know? Do you get me? Do you get why this is stupid? and and also, you might think, oh, that's how the boss fight needs to be designed. But, no, they could have easily made new enemies that are less obtrusive, but, maybe they could go along with the chaos. Say, I don't know, the enemies in boss fights before! You know? Also, Pizza Face's design is insanely inconsistent. The face is normal, but then his eyes are tomatoes, and it's less detailed, and then, oh. I guess his face is just too big for ponies now. But after you beat the first phase, the true villain is revealed. And honestly, he's a little bit freaky, not gonna lie. Especially since he's got control of the moon. Avoid this dude's attacks. Meanwhile, this absolute earworm plays. Even readers that every attack is made up of something earlier in the game, like the gun, the TV. He just straight up gets older enemies. It just after beating him, he brings back every boss fight. He brings back every boss character. And then Peppino lets out a scream of rage, and then it's time for a boss rush. First you defeat Peppermint. He's easy since he's the worst boss in the game. Then defeat Vigilante. You don't get the gun, but instead you use Gustavo, who I completely moving on. You then fight the Noise, and while you can throw Gustavo, you can also just not do that. You can also just wait for Noise again. This one and get to the standard one, but who cares? You got the Noise. And then you get the fake Peppino, and he's pretty nice, all things considered. He's easily the hardest phase in any of these, in this boss rush. But yeah, and then after defeating all the bosses, you fight Pizza Face one more in a Well, it is kind of anticlimactic, but man, does the game's music just go hard here? And then you pile drive him into the ground, and and then the amazing final battle music plays. And as you finally defeat the boss, you finally know why Platinum Games has been real quiet ever since this game came out. Then you finally play the very last level, the Crumbling Tower of Pizza. It's a big run-out scene as you go back through the entire tower in order to escape. Everyone you met during the game comes with you because they're just like, man, screw this. This guy's winning. I'm on the winning side here. And then you finally make it out, ending the game. And that is Pizza Tower. 10 out of 10. Man, why is this game so good? I knew legit nothing about this game other than the fact that I knew about the earlier demos, but I paid no mind to it. In fact, I knew so little about the game that when I played it, I expected the noise to be the main villain. So I couldn't be shocked when I realized he's nothing more than one of the boss fights. So yeah, that was Pizza Tower. 10 out of 10. It's not my favorite game yet, but it's a very close second to Cuphead. Like, subscribe, and comment. This was a very shoddy video.